Guys, what is up? Pilot Manny here with the RC Plane Addict. I want to welcome you to my channel, a place where I get to share my passion and addiction for flying these beautiful RC planes. So today is going to be the first part of a two-part series. I'd love to share with you how I got into this hobby and what I think would be really great for those who, I guess, want to get into this hobby but are kind of scared of spending a lot of money on these very expensive planes. I mean, some of these planes could be well over $1,000, $2,000. You get into the jets with turbines, you're going into like the tens of thousands of dollars. We're not doing that today. We're going to try to keep the budget to around $100 to $200 when you're getting started, and then once you've gotten started, the price actually drops down, believe it or not. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So check this out. All right, so today we're going to be going over some of the planes that I've started with, Foamboard airplanes. What you're looking at here is the Simple Cub, brought to you by Flite Test. It's a Foamboard airplane that I've painted yellow, and there's nothing like frills about this. The wing is removable, it's held on by rubber bands, and it's small enough that I could actually put it inside of my car without taking the wings off. So if you're worried about transporting these like really big planes, don't. It's easy enough to kind of take this plane, throw it in your car. If you don't have an SUV, put it in the back seat and you'll be fine. Seriously. The next thing you got to worry about is your radio. I have a very simple radio. It is the NX8, brought to you by Spectrum. I'll give you a look right now. So this radio here you've seen on my channel a few times, and it is an amazing radio. It's got 8 channels, hence the NX8, and it holds a ton of models in there, and it has a SD card you could put in to add even more models if you'd like. But this radio will serve the purpose of all the airplanes you could ever want to fly in the lifetime of your hobby. So spend a little bit of money. This guy costs just under $400, and you'll be set for all the planes that you need. Now, you don't need to buy this radio. You can start with something very simple, like Spectrum has their introductory radio. It's like the DX series, 5 channel, no big deal. You can still bind it to all of your channels, and they've actually got, or excuse me, all of your planes, and they've gotten much better. If you get a ready to fly airplane, for example, my very first plane was the Apprentice SE. That came with a radio. And I've managed to bind all of the planes I added to my hangar to that radio thus. And then once I had a little bit more money, I added in this radio, and I've been very happy since. Now, this Foamboard airplane has 4 channels. You're looking at throttle, you're looking at ailerons, and you're looking at the elevator and the rudder. And like I said, it's made from a lot of common household materials like foamboard. I go to the Dollar Tree and I get these Foamboard foam like that are, well, now they're $1.25. They used to be $1 each. A little bit more money, not a big deal. And I think this plane really only takes like 3 sheets. 3 to 4 sheets, not a big deal. You can get the tires online or at your local hobby store, or you can scrap them from planes that you've destroyed, and the wire you can get from Home Depot. All the materials are commonly found, super easy to build and super easy to fly. And if you're worried about the flight characteristics and how to control it in the air, they now sell these receivers that have built-in gyros. And I'll show you the ones that I use. They're the Admiral Stability Plus, and they are amazing. They're super inexpensive. It's one-piece unit. You put it in, you plug in all your channels, and it's got recovery, it's got stability, and if you don't want any of that, you can just turn it all off, and then you can fly it the way you like. All right, enough of that. Let's get flying this plane. All right, let's get this thing to the line. 6.5 minutes on the timer, and I have a Admiral 2200 3-cell in here, strapped and Velcroed to the bottom of the plane.
Throttle cut off.
May not like the grass, but we'll see how we do here. All right, let's see if I can take off from here. Yep. All right.
Right on the northern Massachusetts, New Hampshire border. Yeah.
Awesome.
I went to Salem, and then there's another one in Connecticut I went to. Beautiful field.
Yeah, she's flying good today. It's been a while since I've flown this plane. Now the beauty about this plane is that this plane actually has a modified wing. It's got a KFM for airfoil, which is fully symmetrical. So it's not the original arm and wing that the plans called for, but honestly, I think it flies better with this. It's a little bit faster, and yeah, as you can see, it's pretty well controlled. See if I can bring it in for a nice low and slow here for you guys. Now this is not going to self-right itself because of the wing design, like the arm and wing. I think there's a little dihedral in the arm and wing, but once you get going, you'll understand that these wings are extremely simple and cheap to build. And if, God forbid, anything breaks on this plane, you're just looking at the cost of some sheets of foam board. The other thing is, Adam's Ready board has to be primed if you're going to paint it. It's also probably a good idea to help waterproof it from humidity and any kind of light condensation that the grass may kick up on you, or if you're just in an imperfect situation where it tends to drizzle. I use polyurethane that you can get from Home Depot. Super easy. And once the sheets are primed, you can do anything to it. You can paint it yellow, you can put stickers on it. If it gets wet, it's not a big deal. And you would not believe how long this foam board will last. I mean, this plane has got to be over 4, maybe even 5 years old. And yeah, it's flying just as good as it had the day I made it.
My stepdaughter lives a mile and a half from there. What's that? No, it's got paved way there and a grass field.
Now, this plane is not meant for aerobatics, so please don't get cocky and try to do anything crazy. And if you do, you always want to stay a few mistakes high. I'm going to see if I can get into a roll situation here, or a loop for you. Here we go. Also, you should probably make sure you check your rubber bands after every flight. These are old rubber bands, and I just realized that, so I probably shouldn't be doing anything crazy. All clear. In fact, I may even just land it and change the rubber bands and take it right back off. The good news is there's 4 rubber bands on there right now, so the chance of all 4 breaking are slim, but still. New rubber bands after every flight or after every time you come to the field is probably the best idea.
Gotta go around again.
Plenty of time, Cliff.
I imagine it'd be really windy there.
Wow, the wind really died out, huh? Feels great. I am flying in low rates. High rates with this wing would definitely have this plane doing some crazy stuff. But again, this is not really an acrobatic plane, so I would not try to go crazy with it.
Lost it up there. I got too slow. Started going the wrong way.
All right, let's bring it around for one more close. Then we'll land it.
That was a good flight.
Nice.
It was actually a smooth flight. It wasn't jerking all over the place.
And this plane cruises around like half throttle, not a big deal. All right, coming in for a landing. Oh no! Came a little hard. Should have throttled up.
Throttle cut.
Also, great thing about these foam board airplanes is they're light. Like really light. So bad landings like this, don't be deterred. They could take it. They could totally take it. Also, if you haven't seen here, I kind of reinforced my landing gear with the popsicle sticks and wrapped them around. I'm still playing with the best way because those points are weak for the foam board. As you can see, it's already loose. And that's just the foam board being weak against the metal. So you kind of got to give it some hard points. Oh yeah, that ain't good. Holding back on me. Bummer. All right, 6.5 minutes on the timer. I had a minute 43 left. And so our battery is at 59%. So all things considered, this plane is great. That landing gear is going to be a quick fix. I'm just going to pump some hot glue into those joints there and kind of support it a little better, and maybe even use some packing tape. But that's all you really need to repair these planes. They're super easy to fix. They're super cheap to make, and really the only expense are your electronics, the radio, the ESC, and the motor will probably run you close to about $60 when it's all said and done, but they're all reusable and interchangeable. So if you decide to crack this plane up or have the unfortunate event of cracking this plane up, then you can reuse those things and you're good to go. All right, guys, well, that's it. There's part 1 of Foamboard airplanes for the beginner. I hope you liked this video. Please hit me up with any comments or questions you have if you're, still deciding on whether or not to get into this hobby. And please hit that thumbs up and smash that bell so you know when I'm posting, hopefully every Friday. We'll see. Later, guys. Peace.